Thank you for joining. Come have a seat at the table, we're just about to begin. I'm D. Midgarin, joined once again by our cast of wonderful and affordable roleplayers. Last time the Sunday Knights made their way to the entrance of Ephyra's palace, and were set upon by a legion of demons, claiming the palace for their own. After dispatching the demons, our heroes make their way to the throne room, where they see Ephyra, god of the polis. She has been speared to the body in several places. As Ragnar approaches the god, a familiar face appears from behind her. It is Tyrax. He stands before our heroes, but not as a companion, but as champion of Mogus, to ensure Ephyra's demise. Now let's continue our tale of Heroes of Theros, Godfall. When last we left our heroes, you guys had defeated the abhorrent overlord, thus opening the doors to Ephyra's palace. Upon entering the palace, you see that Ephyra is standing in the center of the room. Her body is completely black, with giant spikes speared through her. As Ragnar approached holding a jar, they hear the thump, thump, scrape that has been assailing them all evening. Behind one of the pillars comes a very familiar face, that of Tyrax. When Ragnar asks what Tyrax was doing here, he lifts up his axe and prepares for battle. For the glory of Mogus! And we will start there. So, what are you guys doing?
First question is, are we doing initiative? Or do we get to do something before he does something?
That's up to you. Are you doing initiative?
Well, I intend on casting a spell item. That's what I intend on doing.
Can I use can I use my bonus action real quick to give...
Are you guys talking, or are you guys going into combat?
I can tell you right now,
I wanted to fight this guy for a while.
My character's going into combat, for sure.
Okay, then yes. So, everybody go ahead and roll for initiative.
My first initiative, you can ignore it. I had it on advantage for whatever reason, then I just took it off advantage and I rolled a 20.
Okay.
I also rolled a 20 as Pip.
Eos rolled a 24.
Okay. Lopos, what'd you roll?
I rolled a 5, keeping up in those super, super high rolls.
Okay. What did Klaus roll?
Klaus rolled a 4.
And Klaus rolled a 4. Oh.
He'd rather talk. This is debilitating.
With a 24, we have Aeolus going first.
So I am going to use my turn to give Ragnar my bardic inspiration. Do I roll the dice or does he roll it? Because either way, he gets a D10.
He rolls. That's a bonus action. He rolls. And he can choose what he wants to roll it on.
Okay. That is a bonus action, so I can still take an action. Is that right?
That's correct.
All right. I'm going to use my action I'm going to go ahead and cast Charm Monster.
Okay. It's a wisdom saving throw, and it does get advantage if you or your companions are fighting it.
Okay.
Okay. 15.
He failed. It's a 17.
So then by casting that, are you going to request that others don't attack him, or are you just going to continue as normal?
I'm just making him friendly so we can get information from him, more information from him.
Okay.
But I think that's the smarter moves to gather the intelligence now, and then if you guys still feel like cracking him over the head, you can do that. I mean, I don't care either way. I just figured it would benefit us to start asking questions.
I agree with that.
So go ahead and explain to me how you use Charm Monster.
So the way I do Charm Monster is I start playing a little ditty. I'm basically gassing him up. He's a champion. And everybody knows, heroic tales of champions. So I'm basically singing stories about, Tyrax and his many, accomplishments throughout his career, and saying what a great guy he is. That way, I'm just really like giving him a confidence boost. He's like, hey, I really like this guy.
As your spell descends upon Tyrax, you see his eyes grow wide. He looks at you. Aeolus, my friend. His axe still stays in his hand. He's still gripping his axe with a white-knuckled grip. Ragnar, it is your turn.
All right. Well, he's holding his swing, but not attacking me. I will not attack him. It seems like that he's not being hostile to me for whatever reasons. I don't know if he's just changed his attitude. Because I don't think I would recognize whether or not he was charmed. I'm just going to move. I'm going to move up to here. Because go around these pillars to try to get over to this area back here. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to just move away from him, and I'm going to try to get around these little pillars to kind of get back to wherever this little chair is.
Make your way over there. The jug in your hand starts to glow faintly with a soft blue light.
Okay, I'll just do that for right now.
All right. Pip, are you doing anything?
Pip's going to move over to here and be like, What's going on here? Who's this? He's just gonna hold his action till anything is hostile towards him or his friends.
If he asked me that question, I told him he was a companion. He followed with us for some time, but we got separated. Seems that something overcame him, but now it seems like something else has overcame him. He appeared hostile, but now it seems that he is himself again. I'm not sure.
All right. So Tyrax holds it in his hand, and he seems a little hesitant to move. He stares at Aeolus, and he sees the jar that you hold in your hand starts to glow. And he walks towards you. He's going to walk towards you, Ragnar.
I assume a defensive stance.
And he's like, hand me the jug.
I tell him I cannot.
Hand me the jug, Ragnar.
Karanos has told me not to. I must continue with my mission and help Elvira by any means possible. And I believe that this jar unlocks that key. I must protect it.
You've given me no choice, Ragnar. And he's actually going to swing at the jug.
I will like to use a dodge action because I haven't used any actions yet to dodge his attack.
Okay, so he rolls with disadvantage. And also because he's aiming for a very small spot, +2 to the AC. Okay? What's your AC, Ragnar?
Before he swings at me, I'd like to, can I do a bonus action before that?
What are you doing?
Cast Shield of Faith on myself to make my armor class a 21.
Sure. I roll a 10. I critically failed. Still under the effects of the charm. He's a little hesitant and he swings wide, misses the jug entirely.
And I had some held actions.
Well, you said you're taking the dodge action.
So I'm assuming that 10 means I successfully dodged.
Yes, that would be your action, your movement action, and your bonus action all used up.
We are 10% good.
10% good?
Yeah, because do something else next round, he's not going to like it.
We would be 100% good for this round then, right?
Yes, you're good.
Okay. Anything else?
What else that had held actions? If you had held actions in your turns coming up, you might want to use them.
Yeah.
All right, Pip, what do you do for your held action?
So Pip's just gonna go, oh, think you need to chill out there. And he's gonna try to entangle him.
All right. And entangle does?
It calls for vines and weeds to try to grapple somebody for you, basically.
What's the DC for the strength saving throw?
17.
17. All right. He rolls a 15. He is tied up and bound. So go ahead and explain how you cast the spell.
I basically just use my wand to summon up plants that crack through the floor up here. They wrap around the pole, and then they just leech out, and they grab him and pull him against the pole, back with his back just slammed there, and just pull him down as tightly as they can.
As he gets slammed into the wall, he starts pulling himself. You start to see some of the vines start to break away, but more vines surge out, grabbing hold of him. He is restrained for right now. That ends your actions, correct?
Yep.
Lopos, it is your turn.
All right, I'm going to go up to him, and I am going to cast at first level protection from evil and good against fiends.
You're going to go into the entangled area?
I am.
As you cast the spell, he is not a fiend.
Okay, specifically, the part of the spell that I was trying to do is remove any charms or possessions that's on them, because it says that if a target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed by such a creature, the target has an advantage on any new saving throws against the relevant effect.
Okay. Aeolus, are you a fiend?
No, I'm a fae.
Okay. As you touch Tyrax, you feel your power go through him, surround him. You do see a charm effect, but it's not a fiend origin. It is, of course, from Aeolus. Tyrax Un is working completely on his own free will.
Okay, then I'm gonna stab him.
You've already used your action to cast a spell.
I have 2 actions.
You have 1 action, and you can take 2 attacks if you use an attack.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I know you're right, but yeah.
So what happened? Did he end up doing combat anyway? Like, he's attacked other people?
Yeah, he's just charmed by you. He's not charmed by anybody else.
Well, that seems like a waste.
He is friendly towards you, but that doesn't mean that he can't act on his, like what he's been told to do. He's only compelled to like you and be friendly with you. All right, Lopos, are you doing anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna step back.
All right. How much movement do you have left?
10 feet, but I'm only taking a 5-foot step back.
It takes all 10 feet to move through that because that is difficult terrain.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Yep, just checking. Klaus, it is your turn.
Klaus will then move a bit closer where everyone is talking to him. They're talking to Tyrax.
Mm-hmm.
And as he walks up, he calls out and he says, Tyrax, I thought we were companions. What makes you come against us now?
Are you doing anything else?
Yes,
Okay.
I am. So I want to perform the enchantment Zone of Truth, and I want to do that like while I'm talking with him. Once I walk up here and as I'm talking to him, I want to be casting this while I'm asking my question. And so what this will do is, it's on a 15-foot radius sphere centered on the point of the choice within range, which would be basically within the space that Pip's entanglement spell was cast. And it says, until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there may make a charisma saving throw. On a failed save, a creature can't speak a deliberate lie while within the radius. And you know whether each creature succeeds or fails in its saving throw, so I'll know if it's a liar. If they're able to lie or not. That's it.
Charisma saving throw.
Yes.
14. Is that a success or is that a failure?
For mine, it would be a fail.
Okay, so he has failed, and he can only speak the truth, but he can also not answer the question.
Correct. He cannot speak a deliberate lie.
Yep, that is your action, and that is your movement. Are you done?
Yes.
Aeolus, the busker.
I am going to. Can you have him make me a dexterity saving throw?
Okay. What are you casting?
Fairy fire.
So you're dropping your charm?
Yeah, there's no point at this point.
Dexterity saving throw. 7.
Alright, he is outlined in violet light. For the duration, objects affected and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible. So you guys have advantage on attack rolls while you're attacking him.
We have attack of opportunity for what?
As long as he stays within the radius of the spell,
Okay.
you guys get advantage on attacks against Tyrax.
Understood.
Correct.
Okay.
So it's a 20-foot cube around him.
That is correct. Is that everything?
Yes, it is. That's my action.
No one sounds happy about this.
I'm just waiting for his turn.
Ragnar, it is your turn.
I like to do a free action.
Okay.
Just to protect the jars, I'm going to hold it in my shield hand so that my shield's going to be basically give cover to the jar.
Okay.
Then I'm going to perform an action. And my
And what is that?
cast a spell on my dear friend here. But then I'm going to be blowing a channel divinity so he takes full damage from it. And I'm going to be casting Destructive Wave.
Does that mean that you perform a dexterity saving throw too?
So the way this spell works is that I can choose any creature within 30 feet, and I'm focusing just on Tyrax. So it means that I can choose which creatures to affect within 30 feet of me. I can choose which ones to affect. So I'm only affecting Tyrax, who gets a Constitution saving throw. This is going to be thunder damage, so it's 5d6 thunder damage, and then there's an additional 5d6 either radiant or necrotic damage, which I'm going to choose necrotic damage on my friend. And then if he fails, he gets to be knocked prone.
So he rolls an 11. As the wave hits him, he cries out, Morgus, defend me! And that red light that is around his body springs up in a shield, and he gets to re-roll the saving throw.
Okay.
Dang it! All right, 10. How much damage does he take?
Total is 35 thunder damage and necrotic damage.
Okay.
And then 23 of that is necrotic, so he can only heal the thunder damage. And then he's going to be knocked prone.
And he gets knocked prone. He's tied to the pillar.
I did my channel divinity. He's actually going to take the max damage. So it would have been 30 points of thunder damage, 30 points of necrotic for 60 damage total.
60 damage total. The max damage is just the thunder damage, though, right?
You're correct. So yeah, 30 points of the thunder damage and then 23 of necrotic.
So he takes 53 points of damage total.
And I just say, forgive me, brother, but Karanas must strike you down and knock you prone.
As Tyrax goes prone, the vines start to wrap him up. Many people would pay big money to have a spa treatment like him. It's all seaweed. It's a seaweed wrap. As he goes down, the vines wrap him up even tighter, holding him to the ground. He starts to struggle. Pip, it is your turn.
Lots of movement, right? Because I haven't moved yet, and I'm going to move.
Okay, all right. Well, then go ahead and move.
Over here,
Okay.
by this water, away from him.
All right. Pip, it is your turn.
Pip's going to, cause he's really confused,
Okay.
about who this person is and if they're even he knows they're hostile, but he doesn't really understand why and stuff. So he's taking it a little bit easy, but he's still gonna cast a moonbeam on him.
And that's a Constitution saving throw, correct?
Yeah.
7. I'm rolling poorly today. So,
Yep.
How much damage does he take?
He just takes 5 radiant.
5 radiant. All right. As you cast the moonbeam, it strikes Tyraxum, and the vines that were holding him down with your entangled will burn away. He's still prone, but he's no longer restrained.
Okay.
Are you doing anything else, Pip?
Pip will also move back behind his friends.
Okay. As the vines burn away from Tyrax, he will stand up, and he will go after Ragnar.
Will he not answer my question?
As Ragnar gets up, he looks at you, Klaus. We were comrades, but this is for Mogus. And he'll run after Ragnar, swinging his axe.
I'm in my defensive stance, like the jar protected by my shield.
Ragnar, an 11 and a 17. Does a 17 hit you?
It does not.
Okay. Does a 21 hit you?
21 will hit.
All right, Ragnar, you are going to take 11 points of slash damage plus an additional 9 points.
So 20?
Yep, you're going to take 20 points of damage. The first 2 blows, he's striking at your shield, trying to break the shield and trying to get to the jar. Seeing that that's not working, he swings his axe back around on the other side and clips you right in the side.
I will yell out to my friends, we must protect this jar of the fire. If we were to be successful here today, I need your aid, friends.
Give me the jar, Ragnar.
That is what I say to my friends and see if they do anything.
Lopos, it is your turn.
I am tired of your bullheadedness, and I am gonna unleash 2 arrows to his face.
I see what you did there.
The first one's gonna be a critical fail. Next one's gonna be a 21.
That will hit.
That's gonna be 8 piercing damage.
You want to describe what you did?
After insulting him, I took one of the arrows from my quiver, notched it very gracefully in there. As I go to aim directly as his head, it kind of slips out and hits a couple feet in front of me. But I recuperate and grab my second arrow and shoot him directly between the eyes with the arrow.
As your arrow sails to strike him between the eyes, he will turn his body, it'll take him right in the cheek. Blood pours down from his face, and he puffs his chest out a little bit, but he has more pressing matters to tend with. Anything else are you doing, Lopos?
Smiling a little bit, because he was always kind of a jerk to me.
All right. Klaus, it is your turn.
I'm going to walk over here so that I can see Tyrax attacking. What is he attacking here? Ragnar?
Ragnar, yep.
Yeah. And I'm going to use my command spell, and I'm going to yell grovel.
Wisdom saving throw, right?
Yes. And grovel is going to cause him to fall prone in its turn.
15 to save.
No.
Your spell DC is 13. So you rolled a 15, so he doesn't grapple.
Right.
As you cast your spell grapple, the spell hits him, but he shakes it off. His body tenses for another strike to Ragnar. That was your action, your movement. Are you doing a bonus action?
No, I'm done.
Aeolus, it is your turn.
I'm going to use my movement. I'm going to move next to Pip here, and I am going to use my bonus action to give Lopos a D10 of Bardic Inspiration since he is the next player in line. And I am going to reach over and touch Pip and use my action to cast Enhance Ability. Enhance Ability. You touch a creature and bestow upon it a magical enhancement. Choose one of the following effects. The target gains that effect until the spell ends. Bear's Endurance. Bull's Strength.
Which one do you give him?
I am going to give you Bear's Endurance. I'll give you Bear's Endurance. You get 2d6 temporary hit points, and that's good to go.
All right, so roll 2d6.
I rolled a 9.
Pip, not only do you get advantage on your constitution checks, you also will receive 9 temporary hit points.
Nice.
All right. Aeolus, are you doing anything else?
No, that's the end of my turn.
Next up is Ragnar.
I'm going to be casting Thunder Wave at the 4th level spell at my friend here.
And that's a constitution saving throw, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it's Constitution saving throw, and if he succeeds, he'll take half damage. If not, then he's going to get pushed 10 feet back from me.
Okay. Tyrax rolled a 19. He will save. He'll take half damage and not get pushed back. Is that correct? How many points of damage does he take?
I did 22, but he's going to take half of that, so he's going to take 11 points of damage. And then I'm going to do Sacred Flame on him, so he's going to have to make another saving throw, Dexterity.
Is Sacred Flame a bonus action?
It's not, but it is a cantrip.
Is Thunder Wave a bonus action?
No, it's not, so I guess I can't do the other one. Okay, no, we're good for right now. I'm going to just hold my ground.
All right. Next up is Pip. You feel a little charged up, light on your feet. You feel a little bit healthier than you did 2 seconds ago. You're raring to go. What would you like to do?
Pip is going to run in here, up to enemy here. He sees his allies casting Thunderwave here, and he wants to have his try at that as well. And I'm going to cast this at 3rd level.
Okay, Constitution saving throw, correct?
Actually, let's make it 4th level. Yes.
So he will roll a 19.
Yeah, so he'll take half of...
It looks like you're 20.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 11 and 9. Yeah, so half of 20, so he will take 10 more points of thunder damage.
Yep.
All right. Pip, anything else?
Not really. Not anything else I can do.
Tyrax Un will start to growl, and as the multiple spells hit him, his body starts looking a little bit beaten up, a little bit worse for wear. His rage starts to overtake him. He lets out a guttural howl. 3 attacks upon Ragnar with Reckless. 21, 25, and 27.
Okay, you're going to hit on all those.
All right.
You should dodge those.
So with Reckless, since he took advantage on you, everybody gets advantage on him.
Waiting for you to let me know how much damage I'm taking.
First attack is 13 points of damage, second attack is 9 points of damage, and the third attack is 17 points of damage.
So that's 39 damage total.
Yep, 39 points of damage total. And she's just laying into you. And then as a bonus action, you start to see that light, he starts to puff out his chest, and that light surges into him, and he's actually going to heal for 20 points. Mogus has not abandoned me, and I shall strike down those that he wills. Lopos, it is your turn.
Can I do a nature or a perception check to see how beaten up he looked?
Sure.
Which would you prefer?
I mean, nature.
That would be an 8.
He's damaged, but you're not really entirely sure what. You're not sure how far in the grave he is. He's below his norm.
You can tell he's been hit.
Yes, you can tell he's been hit.
So I am going to take my action this turn to cast fire arrows on my quiver, and that will end my turn. Sorry, flame arrows, not fire arrows.
Okay, so that ends your turn.
That'll end my turn.
Klaus.
Okay, I want to cast Spirit Shroud.
Okay.
You call forth spirits of the dead, which flit around you for the spell's duration. The spirits are intangible and invulnerable, and they are good or evil, your choice. Mine are going to be good, which means that if I attack him within 10 feet, they do provide radiant damage.
Very good spell.
And so I want to see if I can get past Pip here and get a bit closer to Tyrax. And I want to hit him with my double-bladed scimitar, or at least try to.
Have advantage.
Advantage on these attacks.
Double-bladed scimitar, I rolled a 24.
24 will hit.
So I rolled a 9, and since it is 10 feet, it is a 1d8,
Okay.
an extra 1d8, which will be an extra 4 of radiant damage on him.
Okay. All right. That's the first attack.
And I also roll for 27 with the scimitar, with critical 27.
Critical! All right.
Oh,
Roll for damage. Double dice.
Cloud.
I rolled,
It's on!
yeah, roll 13, and with the 8, that's another 3 point of radiant damage.
Roll 2d8. Roll the d8 one more time.
That is an 8, so 8, 9, 10, 11. That's 11.
Yep, that's 11.
11 of radiant damage.
That's everything. Are you doing anything else?
No, it's it.
All right. Aeolus, it is your turn.
Alright, I am going to move close to the altar with all the spikes through it.
Mhm.
And I am going to look reluctantly at Tyrax, and I'm going to cast Polymorph on him. I'm going to see if this works this time.
What form are you taking for Polymorph?
Caterpillar.
The caterpillar.
I like it.
What's the spell DC?
17.
All right.
Yeah.
He's gonna use Indomitable, his last Indomitable for the day. 6. That was even worse. Okay.
In form of creepy crawly.
So explain to me what you're doing.
I start strumming a hardcore solo on my lute, and while I'm doing it, I'm envisioning him shrinking slowly and growing more legs, and it gets slightly more horrifying as he slowly turns into a caterpillar.
I can just imagine at one point there's this, he just grows arms and he's just still large, and then he shrinks or something. I'm like, oh god.
I don't understand what's happening to him. Like it looks like how we pictured those kids transforming into different animals in the animal books.
Oh no.
So Pip, being familiar with this spell, is going to start laughing because he knows a caterpillar cocoon is the component for the spell, and you're turning him into a caterpillar, which is funny to me.
Yep. And while I'm playing away, I start singing hard work, hard work. Hey. I would also like to point out that this is the first moment that one of my more serious spells have ever actually worked.
Well, it's a good thing it's this one.
Yes.
As you cast your spell, Ragnar, he drops his axe and he begins to shrink, and his clothing starts to just drop to the ground, and there's just a pile of clothing, and a small little multicolored caterpillar crawls out of it.
Before I end my turn, I'm gonna look at Ragnar and I'm gonna be like, stop his ass!
Pip's gonna yell, hearing this, going like, if you kill him, he will turn back into himself.
Put him in a jar!
Yes, put him in a jar.
Alright, it is your turn. What do you do?
Very conflicted on what I should be doing here. You got one person telling me not to kill him, another person telling me to kill him. And I'm really just trying to Coronis on what I know he might not be here presently, but since this was an attack of Mobus upon one of his followers, I'm wondering if whether or not I should finally kill him because of his senseless act against Coronis.
It's up to you.
What would your god want you to do in this moment?
What would Coronis do?
Yeah.
WWKD.
Really thinking that I am chaos neutral, by the way, and so is my god, so you probably wouldn't have a problem with me doing what I'm going to do.
Okay.
I'm just going to, after I rest for a minute, I'm going to lay down my shield with the jar, set it off to the side. I'm going to grab my hammer with both of my hands, and I'm going to swing over my head and swing down onto his caterpillar, squishing its head.
Roll for damage.
I roll a 16 to hit. I'm doing bludgeoning damage, but two-handed, so doing 12 with the divine strike damage of 5.
As your hammer swings down upon the caterpillar, you hear this crunch, smush, and then almost like a small detonation occurs that swings your hammer back. The magic that was holding Tyrax's form together explodes out. The Minotaur is down on one knee. He grips his axe. Your hammer blow has done damage to him. He is back to his original form.
I'm also using Thunderous Strike because he was one size smaller than me before he transformed to push him 10 feet away from me.
All right, which direction?
I'm going to push him down this direction because I'm not going to push him I'm just going to push him down here to this little area down here.
Okay, as you bring your hammer down upon the caterpillar, as you use Thunderous Strike, there's a massive boom, a thunderous roar, and Tyrax appears back from him being a caterpillar and flies across the room, striking the pillar. It's going to do 11 points of bludgeoning damage and 5 points of the Divine Strike.
Well, at least on the upside, he doesn't have any of his equipment anymore since he dropped it all.
Yeah, so it's a naked. He's naked now.
It'd actually be on the floor right by where I am, so he'd be like unarmed at this point.
Yeah.
He is a Minotaur. He is never unarmed.
And after that, I'm going to take, after some movement before he moves back, I'm going to move back this direction, away from him.
Okay, anything else?
That's what I do.
Pip, it is your turn.
Pip's gonna come over here, and he's going to cast Elemental Bane.
Okay.
I need a DC 17 check.
19, he rolls. Anything else, Pip?
That's all for me.
Tyrax will stand to his towering height. He cracks his neck, and he charges forwards towards you, Pip. He gets back, picks up his axe. He's actually going to swing it at Klaus. 17 to hit you, Klaus.
17? Oh, well, that's going to not hit.
Okay. 11 to hit.
No.
And a 21.
That won't hit.
Question, DM, are you still reckless or you just get those 3 attacks because you were a caterpillar a moment ago?
He just gets 3 attacks. You're going to take 9 points of slashing damage from the Great Axe.
Got it.
All right, and that will end his turn. Lopos, it is your turn.
All right. Inspiration. Does that add damage or does that add to hit?
He's a glamour bard, so it just adds to hit.
Okay, so that's gonna be a plus 10.
Yep, it's a plus D10.
I think that you can make the attack roll and then decide if you want to use the Bardic Inspiration after you see the roll.
That is true.
Okay, so what I am going to do is I am going to, not it is in the term of increase my movement speed, but in the fact that I am moving quickly, I am going to run across the area down to here, and I am going to slide on the ground and shoot 2 arrows, flaming arrows at the Minotaur. Will a 27 hit?
27 will hit.
All right, so that's going to be 3 damage with 3 fire damage, and then I'm going to notch and release another arrow. And I'm going to use my Bardic Inspiration.
What'd you roll?
Roll the 13.
Okay. Use your Bardic Inspiration.
All right, so that's going to be an additional 7, making it 20 in total.
20 will hit.
And I'm going to do 4 more piercing damage and 1 more fire damage.
Very nice. All right, Lopos. Anything else for you?
I'm going to stand up.
Klaus, it is your turn.
I still have my shroud up, right?
Yes, you still have your shroud up. Roll for Constitution for that.
I rolled a 9.
Get your Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
DM, I forgot to roll for mine from when you attacked me earlier, so I'm just going to roll mine if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys are good people.
I rolled a 15. I'm pretty sure I kept my concentration.
Yep. You kept your concentration with a 15. Klaus, what'd you roll with your Bardic Inspiration?
I got an extra 2, so that would give me 11.
It's 5 plus half the damage, so you needed a 10, so you passed.
Yay!
Good job.
Okay.
All right, so Klaus, yep, you do keep your shroud back on you.
Awesome. Okay, so then I'm going to use again my double-bladed scimitar on Tyrax,
Okay.
which I rolled a critical 27.
Critical!
Critical! Okay. Alright, my second hit is a 19,
19.
and then still get my third one, right?
Yep, you get your third one this round.
So then that one rolled a 12, so.
All right, well, roll for damage. You have a lot of damage to roll.
Alright, so on the critical 27, we rolled a 16 and a 2d8, so 13 radiant damage. And then I rolled a 6 with 6 radiant damage.
6 radiant damage, so 12 total,
Yeah.
plus the 13 and the 16, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Klaus, how would you like to end this creature?
As I slice upwards with the double-bladed scimitar, I slice upwards and come back down on the top of his skull, cutting right into the middle of it, spraying blood juice all over me from his head as he falls to the ground.
Tyrax will collapse upon the marbled floor. His breathing is ragged. He doesn't have long for this world. What do y'all do?
I'm gonna move up to him.
Okay. Aeolus, you move up to him. He looks at you.
I'm gonna start playing a soothing lullaby for him, out of respect. I'm gonna be like, "Shh, go with the gods, my friend. It is your time."
So he's on the ground. He's not moving, but he's still breathing.
He's dying.
Friend, brother, let me expedite your death for you. In the glory of Mobus, I will take my hammer and I will smash his head as many times as I can to make sure that he dies quickly.
Oh my god.
As you bring your hammer up, he looks at you. Then I go on to the Tovin fields. And you bring your hammer down one last time, and Tyrax is no more.
I will then take a knee, because he was a faithful friend and warrior, and I shall see you soon, brother.
And as Klaus sulks as well, not intending for this to be the outcome, but he walks towards the now center of the room.
As you all turn around, leaving Tyrax on the floor, the only sound in the room is that of the waterfall behind you.
Right,
The goddess stands there, the motionless statue, the spear still spiked through her body.
First thing I like to do is cast some Cure Light Wounds on myself at 3rd level, please.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Mass Healing Word on the group.
Very good spell. How much do you heal for? Ragnar, you cast the spell first, so how much do you heal yourself for?
I heal myself for 21.
21, okay. All right. And Aeolus, how much do you heal the party for?
15 points.
All right.
Klaus will pick his head up just slightly and look over to you, and he will cast his Cure Wounds. So I cast Cure Wounds at level 2. So I will have 2d8 cast him, and then with my, which would be a 9, and then with my my item, I also heal that times 2.
All right.
So now how much do you need?
You down 5. I'm good for right now. All right. Is my jar still glowing?
Yes, it is still glowing.
So now that I'm here, is it the same glow? Is it dim? Is it brighter?
It's a soft blue glow.
All right, what I'd like to know is I'm going to come over here to where this waterfall is. Take the jar with me. I'm going to open the jar. Is the water spraying over the edge? I want to know if I can fill this jar with some water out of the waterfall.
Sure. As you hold the jar up, the water seems to pour into the jar endlessly. It doesn't seem to fill.
Okay. Well, whatever's in there, I will bring it over to... I'm going to bring this jar over to here, to this... This looks like some type of chair or something. And you said these are all like spears embedded into her, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to put this jar on this throne, it looks like, and say in behalf of Cronus, please give guidance to Ephira. Give her the ability to restore herself so she can once again rule this realm, and lay the jar onto the throne.
As you lay the jar onto the throne, nothing happens.
All right, I was worth a try.
Can we try removing the spikes from the set?
I think that would be probably helpful. How many of the spikes are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That seems handy. There's 5 of us, 5 spikes.
There's these spikes that are here up against these pillars, so how are we going to do those?
You know pretty much what Ragnar knows about Ephyra. So she is the goddess of the polis. Her symbol is a vase that she pours knowledge out onto the world and shares that knowledge with all of mankind. The vase is a symbol of her power.
I had the jar over here on the throne. I'll pick it back up if it doesn't do anything. I imagine I'll get closer to the statue. Does it glow any brighter as we approach where she's at now?
It has been glowing steadily ever since you started pouring the water into it.
Is there any way that we can remove the spikes off of her?
Do you want to touch one?
I'm going to touch one with my hammer.
Okay.
I'm going to try to see if I can poke, come out over here on this end and see if I can poke it back out that direct, see if I can move it, hit it or something.
Are you touching it or are you striking it?
I'm going to first try to strike it and see what happens.
All right, so go ahead and roll an attack.
I rolled a 21, doing 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
As you go to strike it, it's like hitting one of the stone pillars. Your hammer bounces off of it, and you see this black mark across your hammer. Roll an Arcana check.
That's my specialty.
All right, how about you do the Arcana check, and I'll assist you doing it so you get advantage.
Bird. With a plus 10 to Arcana, I rolled a 12. How would you like?
You rolled a 14 because you have advantage.
14.
14. These spikes seem to be made out of energy. Ayla, since you worship Phoenix, you know a little bit about the underworld. The spikes come from the underworld. You're not sure who makes them, what was forged out of them, but it's the same substance. And you can safely assume that these are definitely necrotic in nature.
I'm going to panic and run up to Ragnar and be like, don't touch them!
Do I still have my shroud at?
Yes.
These spikes are of the underworld. Don't touch them. To do so would to put yourself into harm's way. Don't touch the spikes.
Okay, I want to throw my spear at it.
Okay.
So the one that's next to me, or it's in front of me, I'm going to throw my spear and 20 to hit. I rolled a 1. However, that also does 6 points of radiant damage on it.
As your spear hits the spike, it will disintegrate. The radiant energy that is released from it burns up the spike, but it doesn't seem to be enough to cause the spikes any serious harm. It would need a very strong source of radiant energy, of divine energy, to burn away these spikes.
Okay, good deal.
Maybe try pouring the water on them.
I think that's what I had in mind. That's why I went over to the waterfall in the first place to see if I could fill some water up in this jar. See if I could come up here and first I could try pouring it onto the spike. And if that doesn't work, then I can pour it onto the statue itself and see what happens.
All right, which spike do you pour the water onto?
This one.
Okay. Ragnar, as you pour the water onto it, it starts to burn and fizzle. You see smoke rising from the spike, and it starts to go away.
Alrighty then. Very good, friend. That was a good idea. And then I'll come over to this one and pour some water on this one.
Okay. As you go around, you start pouring water onto the spikes. One by one, the spikes will start to disappear and dissipate. As they do, Ephyra starts to be coming back into her light. You see slowly the divine energy starts to radiate from her for being in the seat of her power. But as the spikes leave her, she still stands motionless as a statue.
Is there a place? I'm gonna try to place this jar on her statue where it looks like there's a place where she could hold the jar, and that's where I would like to place the jar on her statue.
So you reach up and you place the jar on her shoulder, which seems to be where the jar is supposed to go. The water starts pouring freely from it. It splashes upon her feet, and where the water splashes, the divine energy gets absorbed back into her body. And slowly but surely, Ephyra comes back to her own.
With her, as she comes back, I will take a knee and bow down before her.
She breathes a sigh of relief and she looks upon you. Champions of the Paragon, you have saved me from a most twisted and horrible fate. You have my gratitude. But this place, it needs my help. And as she says that, Ephyra's body starts to expand and grow, becoming larger than the building. As the walls and everything starts to contain her, she starts to step away from it. Her jar upon her shoulder starts to cascade water. Everybody within the palace becomes fully healed. You all get a buff to your wisdom. For the next 12 hours, you will get +2 to your wisdom. And if you guys were to look outside, you will see that she starts pouring water onto her city. The buildings that were crumbled and blackened start to glow brightly with white light. And soon the pitiful ruins that was the Fire Cities becomes once again clad in bronze and marbleized dreams. The grateful spirits of philosophers and thinkers, engineers, you start to see them walk around the city once more. As you look out the door, Lopos, you do remember that you saw a horde of demons coming for your way. They seem to have halted and are now retreating, because no one really wants to step up to a god in her own domain.
Haha, run, you cowards.
Here, our mission has not been complete yet. There's still a great cataclysm coming our way. We must continue to search forward and see if what we can do to help.
As you guys head outside, Fyra's work is done. She turns back to you. Thank you, heroes. But I fear that this is just the first step into what we need to do. As long as the Archon is in the polis, humanity's days are numbered. She holds out her jug once more, and she pours water down. The water starts to twinkle with starlight. It starts to surge forward and surround you. Thank you for returning me back to my power. As the water surrounds you once more, you will all return back to where we started, the Nyx. As you all stand upon the pass of starlight, the night sky opens back up to you. You see the constellations of Heliod, Nyla, Tyas, Phoenix, Koronos. They all look down upon you. Well done, my champions. You have done well. You have passed your ordeal. Speak.
Klaus would look up to look for and find his goddess and come forth and say, Clothis, I was prepared, but I did not know it was to come.
Klaus, you have done admirably. I wish to present you with this gift, and I wish that you return back to my good graces. Klaus, your piety with Clothis is now 30. Along with that, she gives you a shirt.
Why? She not like the one I have on?
It's called a gift from a god.
As the light shines around you, your armor has been traded out for a silvery shirt. This shirt is made from my own hair. It has the strength of steel, and once a day you may use the shirt to reverse fate. Klaus, this shirt counts as full plate armor without the penalties, and once a day you can either change a dice roll from a success to a failure, or from a failure to a success. Once a day. Also, when you are attuned to it, you gain proficiency in one extra skill of your choosing.
Kneel upon receiving this treasured gift, and looking down, I will say to her, I do not feel worthy.
Oh, but you are worthy. And the constellation of Clothis will dim, not entirely, but she has said all that she wants to. Phoenix, the purple lights of Phoenix will glow. Aeolus.
Aeolus steps forward and kneels and bows his head.
You have used your quick wit and your guile to overcome an impossible task.
All I have done to honor you.
You have definitely earned the name of Reveler in my eyes. Light will shine around you. You also receive 30 piety, and in your hands is a golden mask. This is a golden mask of the same Vicious of Phoenix himself.
Oh my god.
Aeolus, while you wear this mask, you are invisible to anything of the living. You are not invisible to the undead, but while you wear the mask, your race is changed to undead, with all of its benefits.
Oh wow.
Also, while you're attuned to the mask, you can cast one second level spell. After casting, you roll a d6. On a 1 through a 5, you cannot cast that same spell until the next dawn. On a 6, you can cast the spell once more.
Any second level spell?
1 second level spell. The purple light will die away, and a thunderous boom will echo through the heavens. Ragnar!
I will look up and say, Father.
I am not a clever being. Deception and wit can only carry you so far into battle. This war that we will face must be dealt with an iron hand. And so I give to you my thunder. Lightning will strike you, Ragnar. You gain 30 piety with your god, and your hammer has been changed out for a new one. This is Thunderclap. It will serve you well in the coming battle. Koronos, this is a +3 hammer that can return to you after being thrown. And if it is thrown, it deals an extra 2d10 thunder damage to the opponent if struck. While attuned to this weapon, you gain resistance to lightning damage. Do anything else? Is anything?
No, I thank Hronos for his gifts. I have nothing but I've done everything I could to continue to serve in your name and in your glory. I will continue to do so until I meet you in the afterlife.
Hronos' light will die away, and the light of Karametra will appear. Dearest Pip,
Yes?
your wisdom is unmatched by all.
Thank you.
I appreciate you doing this for me. Without you, I fear that the rest would not be able to pass their ordeal. I give you back my faith, and I bestow upon you my gift. Green light and vines will start to wrap through your body. You gain 30 piety. The vines will crawl up your body and wrap themselves around your head, and you now have a crown of vines upon it. Pip, while wearing this crown, your proficiency bonus increases by 1, and you're immune to all diseases.
Thank kindly for the gift. One last thing, if you don't mind. The stairs on the way down, could you make a slide? It's quite a long stair climb, you know?
Her light will dim, Not gone, but dimmed. A new constellation will form, one that was quiet the last time. Lopos,
He bashfully looks up with his big old eyes.
do you believe that I'm foolish?
No, my goddess.
So, I chose you as my champion. Do you believe that I was wrong?
I hope I have redeemed myself a little bit in my recent actions.
When I granted you my bow, do you believe I was wrong?
I don't believe you can be wrong.
And that is wisdom. Lopos,
Yes?
you feel a warm, familiar weight in your hand, and as you look down, Iphixus appears once more. It is whole this time. Upon your back, 4 arrows appear in your quiver. And now, while attuned to this weapon, your AC increases by a +1. I was not foolish to choose you, Lopos. You were foolish to doubt my wisdom in that I chose you. I hope that this proves to you of my faith in you.
It will not happen again.
As her light dims, another light will appear, and that is of Heliod. Champions of the Paragon, you have completed your task, but now you set upon a new one, and that is the destruction of the Archon. A loud cascade of horses are heard behind you. As you turn around, you see galloping Pegasi. Each of them pulls a golden chariot. Go now and destroy that creature. What do y'all do?
I will bow my head and say I will do so in the honor of Karanis, and then I will get onto one of the chariots.
Tis will arise from one knee and turn and get into one of the carriages.
Pip's gonna be like, alright, I guess slide wasn't the best idea, but this will do a lot better than stairs. And climbs in a chariot.
Lopos will say, "For the hunt," and let out a mighty roar, and then get in the chariot.
Aeolus is gonna hop on top of the chariot and pull out his lute and be like, "We ride at dawn, bitches!"
That is where we're going to end it for tonight. What will our heroes find upon their return to Melithus, and even with the help of the gods backing them, will they be able to defeat the Archon? Find out these answers in the exciting finale of Heroes of Theros, Godfall. If you enjoyed the story so far, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to never miss out on any of the action. We look forward to you joining us at the table next time on Sunday nights. Minstrels, play us out.